finally, assignment 5. Again, this is one of my favorites. Well, they're all my favorites, if you haven't figured that out yet. But this one is super realistic when you go to graduate and when you go to apply for actual teaching positions. So here we go. Rationale. When you engage in a professional teaching interview, you will most likely be asked, how will you teach literacy in your future classroom? It is important for you to be ready to answer this question with specific knowledge and practical experience. You don't want to be generally saying things like, oh, I like books. I'll read some books. You want to pinpoint, how are you going to teach vocab? How are you going to teach phonemic awareness? What are you going to do with struggling readers? How are you going to incorporate different genres, right? And you have like 5 to 10 minutes to do that in an interview. So you have to be super succinct and you really, really know your stuff. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Using an online format, so I'll send you some links. We'll use Collaborate or Zoom or something similar that you know how to use. You will meet with me for a 10-minute interview and answer the question, how will you teach literacy in your future classroom? So when you come online, I'm going to say, hello, how will you teach literacy in your future classroom? There's no trick. Your answers should draw from course content, practicum observations, and personal experience. Interviews will happen between November 3rd and 7th, and I will make a sign-up sheet closer to that date. You just have to come for your 10 minutes. Once you're done your 10 minutes, you're done. So you don't have to obviously come for longer than that, or you don't have to come to your colleagues' interviews. Okay, there is no written component to be submitted for this assignment, but preparation of answers is required as you were graded upon your answers to all competence of the rubric. So this is not a, hey, just come in, fly by the seat of your pants, see what happens. I'm looking for super specific answers. So this is what I'm going to be looking for. I want you to talk about ideas for teaching. What are the main ideas? And which one do you resonate with? I want you to talk about tools that will help students learn phonological awareness and phonics, maybe particular programs, and some examples. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Vocab strategies to improve vocab and examples. Can you see? I want you to be specific here, because if you just say, oh yeah, I'm going to read a whole bunch of different genre of books and I'm going to do some reader's theater and I'm like, okay, show me the proof that you actually know that will improve fluency. So then you say, when I did reader's theater in my grade 4 classroom, I had a student that was below reading level in fluency, and after, so I'm looking for really specific here. Comprehension, writing conventions, these should start to be looking very, very familiar, right? Hopefully. And then there's just a little bit of interview presentation, because an interview is an interview. Response prepared, but not just read. I don't want you to write a speech and read it. I want you to do it like an interview. I want you to be confident, and I want you to have the ability to clarify thoughts or statements. I may ask you to clarify something, but generally I'm going to let you have a go with that. These are some tips for the assignment that I have gleaned from doing this type of an assignment in the past. So have a look at this and follow these. It will make your experience and my experience doing the interview just a better experience. So include all the sections, go in order of the rubric, give a quick definition of terms like science of reading or balanced literacy. Assume your interviewer is familiar with the terms. Don't assume that they know exactly. Just give a brief. Lots of my students have gotten bogged down and they've spent, 5 minutes describing science of reading. And I'm like, oh, you have a lot of other topics to get through, right? So make sure that you just know what you want to say about science of reading or balanced literacy and move on. Time yourself, right? Time yourself going through. Don't get bogged down. Give succinct examples, use particular programs, and try not to use acronyms, because you may know it, but if I don't know it, that annoys me. And so I want you to spell out the acronym. Okay, that's the interview one. I think that'll be a really lovely way to round out the year with really, it's a summation of everything. It's like a final exam, but without the crazy written part and without hopefully the stress of the exam. It's just you and me having a little chat about how you will teach literacy in the future. Great. Take care.